Welcome back, everybody, to the New Orleans Saints franchise. I really think our last game against the Falcons was one of the most impressive, impactful wins of the series. Not only did we beat Atlanta, but we did it in a very resilient way with contributions from players that we probably weren't expecting to be the difference in winning or losing this game. We've been trying to build something over the last couple years, and it's been a rocky road. But to me, that last game symbolizes there's some hope on this roster. And I think we're still growing. A lot of these players are just getting started. But now we've broken through that 5-win mark we were stuck at the last couple years. We beat a very quality opponent in the Atlanta Falcons. And then we check the standings and see we'd be a playoff team right now if the season ended. That is really exciting. Now, the next games on our schedule are against playoff caliber competition. We've already shown we can beat Atlanta, but the good teams are the ones that can do this kind of thing consistently. I wanted to see how we'd fare coming out of that challenge, facing Sam Darnold, who spent last season, of course, with us. He started a few games, did not win any of those, but now in Washington, things have been really successful. And while they're missing Terry McLaurin as he recovers from a broken finger, they did spend the number 1 pick in last year's draft on wide receiver Donald Ryans out of Alabama. And he has lived up to all the expectations as the number 1 pick. I wanted to see how we'd compete with him and Jahan Dotson as the Commanders' top 2 receivers. And I wanted to see if Blake Westbrook could take that performance from last week and build upon it. That was a franchise quarterback level performance against a top caliber opponent. Now, Washington is in the position they are because of what they've done with their defense. Of course, spending 4 first-round picks on 4 defensive linemen who are all impact players, especially those interior guys. I knew it would be a challenge with our interior offensive line showing signs of weakness this year and knowing how Blake Westbrook can handle pressure from time to time and the fact that when we don't get our running game going, we tend to be a different team. On top of that, we're still missing a couple players, and everybody's battling through some injuries at this point of the year. It's certainly no excuse Commanders are without Terry McLaurin. Well, let's go through this Saints and Commanders matchup. I was really excited for this one. Commanders open with the football, and Sam Darnold completes to Donald Ryans, who essentially is stepping in to try and show he can be that number 1 receiver. Washington opting to go to the air early. Nice second-level throw from Sam Darnold. That is second-year receiver Austin Frazier. So they're going next man up as we have, and there is Donald Ryans. He beats Tommy Tomlinson on the route, gets the first down. Commanders ultimately take it inside the 20. And who makes the big play on this drive? It is number 98, Justin Medlock. I was hoping I'd be saying his name a lot more often. This is only his first sack of the year, but it's right when you want someone to make a play. It holds the Commanders to 3. And then we take over for our opening drive. You see those stars across the line for the Washington Commanders, and Westbrook has to face that pressure immediately and throws a strike to Jacoby Pearman. Good to see him healthy after leaving last week's game. We then go Jadarius Roby, and he is stuffed. You see that penetration they can create up front. It's unlike most teams we face. And off the edge as well, Montez Sweat with your essential drive ender. Into the next Washington possession. Check out number 98 again. Medlock splits the double team. Darnold throws a really dangerous pass. Medlock, though, showing an early impact. And then it's Paul Redmond on this third down snap. This is what I envisioned when I drafted these guys. Good to see them make an impact on the first 2 possessions. Jacoby Pearman back as the punt returner now. And how about the spin of Pearman? Breaks it out to the left side, trying to beat the punter who knocks him out of bounds. Ryan Stonehouse is actually one of the fastest punters in the league. And you might not think it's important until you're in this exact position. Great field position at least, and we toss it outside to Jadarius Roby. Rather attack him on the edge than at the strength of the defense. That pays off for a first down. Then Roby right side. Again, the block set up, and he picks up around 9. Now, short yardage against this team is not going to be easy. Here's a 3rd and 3. Off the mark again from Blake Westbrook. When he sees that pressure, you know it's just going to be a flip of the coin if that's going to be a completion. We get 3 on that possession, and then Washington gets one of their best runs here early. That is Devin Singletary. Brian Robinson no longer in Washington. Darnold then chased. How about this throw to Donald Ryans? Crossbody under the pursuit of Juan Beard. Later in the drive, 3rd down, we drop 8 and still leave a receiver all alone. Donald Ryans takes it inside the 10. Looks like a difference maker early on. 1st and goal for Darnold. Pressure put on, and he is sacked. Armstead chased him right into Jadeveon Clowney. The red zone defense was strong on the opening drive, and it came through again, holding the Commanders to 3. That was Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah on the pass defense. With 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, they blitz Westbrook, and it's Jamin Davis who sacks him back at the 17. We don't want to be behind the sticks like this against Washington, but with a chance to make a big play, Westbrook overthrows Jacoby Pearman, and we all know that should have been 6. Pearman creating some great opportunities in this game. Washington ball. How about a splash play here? Another one from Justin Medlock. I think this already qualifies as the best game of his career. That was a really nice play. And then we get the unblocked Juan Beard, our sack leader. A lot of his pressures this year have been unblocked, but at least he can finish the play. Low-scoring first half. No touchdowns yet. Westbrook has a chance. Overthrowing Chris Olave. Another touchdown potentially left on the field. It would stay a 6-3 game going into the final minute of the half. And the pressure for Washington was a really big problem. They converted some sacks. We couldn't get the run game going. It really hurts to not hit those big plays when they're there for the taking. It's much harder to go 12 plays on a team like Washington than it is to hit one of your elite receivers for a big play. Their secondary is pretty solid at the same time. They have 2 impact players there. So we tried to regroup in the second half, take what the defense gives you if it's going to be anything. A nice catch by Eddie Lovelock, and then the rookie, Barry Skelton, heading outside. With Kendre Miller out, we're getting a deeper look at Barry. I like what I see. Now we run the jet sweep, and Roby doesn't throw much of a lead block. I realize these jet sweeps are not working all that often. And on 3rd down, a really costly drop by Roby. If he can catch that, we can maybe go for it on 4th down. And maybe we fail, but we'd have a chance. Instead, Jack Becker trying to pin Washington deep. And the man has done it again, pinning them at the 1. That's now 2 weeks in a row he has a punt like that. Sam Darnold, nowhere near the composure you want to see out of a quarterback in the pocket. Sacked by James Houston. 3rd down a couple plays later. Houston nearly converts a safety. And we force another punt of Washington. This was a really promising defensive performance to put us in this position. Jadarius Roby right side cannot get that final yard. Struggling to get to 3 yards a carry. Roby can't move the sticks on 3rd and 1 either. What do you do on 4th down, everybody? We toss to Barry Skelton. He's forced to cut it downhill. We fail there as well. That last yard against a team like Washington feels like 8 miles long. Our defense would give us the ball back. We're late 3rd now. Westbrook on 3rd down. He'll miss everybody. Pearman, Olave, everybody's getting overthrown. 4th quarter now. Sam Darnold, knocked away. Great battle with Tomlinson and Ryans as we force another quick Commanders drive. And we know we can't afford to fail a whole lot longer. Screen for Skelton, heading outside and a first down. That's an element I really like. At this point, Westbrook had 17 attempts for 59 passing yards. That's how the front four takes over a game like this. The toss to Barry fails again. 3rd and 11. Westbrook hit and intercepted. We're needing some more time for these plays to develop. We're trying to get Chris Olave here, and with a clean attempt, we got a chance. Instead, it's Cam Curl with the interception. Short field, Washington. Now they don't got to drive into field goal range. 3rd down, pressure picked up. Darnold, end zone, touchdown! And Donald Ryans gets behind Tommy Tomlinson. We left him on an island. It's Tommy Tomlinson after all. But Donald Ryans looks like the real deal. That felt like a punch to the gut going down 10, knowing we haven't moved the football consistently all game. Jonathan Allen ruins that play in the backfield. We lose 6. Play fake with Westbrook. Again missing Chris Olave. I mean, the yards are out there. Why does he have 59? Because they're still on the field. 3rd and 16. Yeah, that should have been intercepted. I'll admit that. And then we got a punt. We can't go for it there. I wanted to trust the defense, keep it a 2-score game. And Darnold hits Noah Fant on the outside. That was one of his more impressive plays to that point. We generate some pressure then. There is your favorite pass rusher, Juan Beard. We send Washington backwards, but on 2nd down, Noah Fant open again. Darnold hits him for the first down. Sam settled in and looked as comfortable as he had all game long. I think that throw to Ryans definitely sparked something. Up by 10. Back to the rookie and in for his 2nd touchdown. Donald Ryans. Welcome to the Rookie of the Year conversation as Washington takes a 3-possession lead. This was another game that felt a lot like the Carolina game, where our defense played so well. It felt like we are the better team. We should be able to get something going, but the offense just can't. And then things just get away from us in the 4th quarter all over again. Blake Westbrook, I think, had maybe his worst game of the year. It's one of them. There were so many overthrows, so many big play opportunities. We could have easily played this game for a majority up by a couple possessions. But we couldn't run the football, putting more pressure on the quarterback. And facing all these long 3rd downs, you have to make some big plays. And we couldn't do that. We had one 28-yard pass to Chris Olave, a 16-yarder to Jacoby Pearman. Those were our longest plays to a receiver in this game. When there's such a difference in the skill level of the D-line and the offensive line, it changes everything you do. I'm a Viking fan. I've seen that game many times. I think it really shows that we need to upgrade this interior offensive line in the offseason. And I'm thinking in free agency or through a trade. Because we have a couple young guys who are developing. The solution is probably not going to be a rookie unless you wind up with an elite guard prospect like our next opponent, Chicago, took a couple years ago. This was a stretch for us to play 3 straight playoff caliber opponents. We had the great win against Atlanta. Then we show up and put up 3 points against the Commanders. Now Chicago. They entered as the NFL's 3 seed, leading the NFC North. And the Bears have done a really good job with their roster building in this series. I knew at this stage of the year, now on the outside looking in, it's hard to come back from back-to-back losses. You would then likely need to win your final 3 and get help to make it as a 9-8 team. So here are the Bears. They added Nick Chubb. They added Christian Darrisaw. Sebastian Dillinger was that prospect I mentioned earlier. He's basically in that Quentin Nelson archetype. What a get for them in the first round. I'm actually a pretty big fan of what they've done with their roster. Grady Jarrett was brought in. I've always liked Grady Jarrett. They've made things work with Justin Fields. Even if he still hasn't taken that step as a quarterback, his numbers are pretty mediocre. 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But I knew this would be another tough challenge for us. At least you wouldn't see that Commanders defensive line. But every playoff team has their own challenge to throw your way. So let's go through our second game of the day. I hope you're enjoying these episodes. I'm honestly having a great time putting them together. But we start off on our opening drive. Westbrook overthrows Garrett Wilson. I just wanted to see a nice easy completion here early on. Start this game with a new feeling. Extending again. Desperate and caught by Garrett Wilson. When you have to work that hard for 9 yards, it's not a good thing. Stuffed is Jadarius Roby, and that number 72 is John Hernandez. In his third year on a Washington State, and he knocks the ball loose of Westbrook. Issues along the line here a second straight week. We chuck it downfield, and it's knocked away from Chris Olave. And the Saints get nothing on their first possession. Well, here is Chicago. I knew Nick Chubb would be a big challenge, containing Justin Fields as well. Here's 3rd and 2. Nick Chubb upfield. Yeah, I was expecting a pass there. We went with the double A gap look, which is not set up well for the run. Just kind of misread that situation. And then Dillinger pulling around, helping clear open a lane for Nick Chubb. The Bears go inside the 10, and that is a touchdown. Justin Fields to Darnell Mooney. And the Bears strike quickly. Punched in the mouth right away, but I knew this was a game we likely needed to win. Blake Westbrook heading to the air, and there is Garrett Wilson. Kind of a dangerous play. First down, Saints. Then a little play action, and we're still missing Kevin Blackwell, opening the door for Eddie Lovelock to get more playing time. He runs for the first down. A couple plays later, 3rd and 5. Westbrook gets it off to the end zone. Caught this time. Touchdown, Chris Olave. To stare into the pressure and make that throw, that was big. That tied the game at 7. Bears take over with their next drive. Fields pulls it back across the 30. Gets the first down to the 39. Then Nick Chubb gets the handoff and shrugs off Tomlinson. Not much of a run defender, and that's a first down on the ground. These more physical teams, I think, are an awful matchup for us. We haven't developed along the line like I've wanted to, and I know we're still going to have to look for more talent. Fields rolling left, lays this in beautifully. It's a touchdown for Kentrell Samuel. Another great pick they made earlier in the franchise. He is their 3rd receiver as a 79 overall. 14-7. Saints spread the field. 3rd and 18. And Westbrook can't get it to Garrett Wilson. Saints forced to kick it again. Here is Jack Becker, who's had some great moments. And this isn't one of them. He bobbles the snap, and the kick is blocked. Chicago up 7, takes over inside the red zone. And Justin Fields rolling left into Juan Beer. That's going to help pad the stats. We can get off the field on 3rd and 16, right? Right? Wrong. Touchdown, Cole Kmet. Why don't these linebackers in the cover 2 ever get depth? That's why I got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He ends up covering the smallest amount of space. 21-7, Saints ball, and down goes Westbrook. Grady Jarrett. So many 3rd and longs in this episode. We try to slow down the rush. Yeah, Roby's had some tough moments here. Not great in blocking. Not able to catch a pass in that last game. That was critical. Here's a toss to Nick Chubb, and we stuff it. This game had a chance to really get out of hand early on. Like 21-7 is still manageable. We end up getting the ball back. Roby fights through some contact and gets the first down. I wanted to see us get some points to finish off this first half. Getting Westbrook on the move, away from the rush, and it's caught by Garrett Wilson. We go right back to him on second down for that quick hitter. Trying to find a rhythm through the air. Westbrook then, under pressure. There is Pearman, turning this up for a first down. It's not always pretty, but we got to start stringing these first downs together. Play fake, and downfield, dropped into Pearman. What a throw and catch. That is a touchdown. Did he actually get both feet down, you might wonder? Of course he did. Jacoby Pearman with one of the most impressive plays he's made on this team, 21-14. We left Chicago time, though, in the first half. Justin Fields trying to take advantage of that, and it's Nick Chubb. I feel like they were picking on Paulson Adebo a bit in this episode. Here is Fields, rushed and sacked. That's Paul Redmond, who beat Sebastian Dillinger. So we've had some flashes in this episode from Redmond, from Medlock. It's a 10-point game, though, going into the second half. And the Bears have the football. Starting at their own 20. And Fields has Samuel wide open for the first down. Just his 6th pass attempt to that point, all of them completions. Then Chubb, good cut. He runs it downhill for a gain of 7 on his way to 100. And Fields with an RPO, easy completion out to DJ Moore. That's a first down. Justin stays perfect. Then it's misdirection, and Chubb fighting through a tackle and crossing 100 yards. Inside the red zone, Nick Chubb with another powerful run. There is just no answer with this team. We try to bring pressure, get the sack on Justin Fields. That's James Bolden. And then third down. We bluff and drop out of the look, and it's overthrown for Mooney. And Justin Fields, a little upset, his completion percentage is no longer perfect. The Bears go up by 13 on that drive. And we come back, and again, misfiring is Blake Westbrook. This episode was rough for him. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Off the mark for Chris Olave. So many completions that we should have had. On third down, you bet he misses again. He just couldn't get comfortable. And it's disheartening when he played so well against the Falcons to then fail to make these more simple completions in the games afterwards. Paul Redmond gets another sack. So we're getting some pass rush flashes. I'd like some more in run defense. Justin Fields, that is complete to Samuel. Fields had himself quite the game, and we just couldn't make plays in the secondary. The receivers for Chicago really showed up, and Nick Chubb had himself a great game. We force a fourth down from the 39, and the Bears leave the offense out there. Pressure on Fields, and Cole Kmet takes that one down. We have the coverage, we just don't make the play. And Justin Fields finds DJ Moore for the touchdown. I was legitimately excited for these games. We go and beat Atlanta knowing we have some more quality competition on the way, and we basically no-show in 2 straight games. David Mayweather comes in relief. He, too, ends up being intercepted. Bad decision there on my part. And Chicago is able to add insult to injury. Justin Fields, he extends and finds DJ inside the 5. Bears looking for one more score. Justin Fields fakes, fires end zone, another great catch. That is Justin's 5th touchdown pass of the day. Easily his best game of the season, and a game that might ultimately end our playoff hopes. I'm not even going to talk about winning out as a possibility, because after these couple games, we don't look like a playoff caliber team whatsoever. We have identified some great needs, though, for the offseason, that's for sure. Interior offensive line, interior defensive line, we're going to be busy. The Saints are unable to build upon their big win over Atlanta. That just looks more like one of those rivalry games you're able to get hyped up for. You pull off a big upset, and then reality sets back in as quick as possible. Blake Westbrook had two pretty bad games, I'd say, just judging his accuracy and whether he made throws he should or like what throws he was struggling with. He didn't play well in either game. Jadarius Roby didn't even combine for 100 yards in the two games today. And the quality of our offense has often followed our ability to run the ball. And I haven't gotten us to the point where we can make up for one part of the offense not carrying its weight. So now we have lost 4 of our last 5 and have 3 more games. The Buccaneers have now leapfrogged us in the standings. We'll face them in the second to last game. And our next is against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are currently a 500 team. We will be welcoming back Kevin Blackwell and Kendre Miller next episode, but it also happens while we are losing Barry Skelton, who ended up losing he didn't lose a finger, he broke one in practice ahead of the Steeler game. So we have 3 more games to go. I'm not sure if it'll be 1 or 2 videos to close out the year. I guess I would think 2, but I have really enjoyed doing these last couple episodes. It's been refreshing to be able to move quickly and I think still tell a good story for these games. Sometimes it's not the most fun story to tell, but it's important to talk about every game and how things change over the course of a football season. I know it's been a departure from the usual format. It really brings me back to doing like Rocky's franchise videos here on the channel instead of being locked into that play-by-play mindset for that style of commentary, instead doing this more storytelling format, but trying to make it as exciting as possible. I really enjoy it. And I still think, there's room to do like the play-by-play, single game, more focused, traditional videos that you've become used to on the channel. But for what I'm trying to do with my series, I do think this works really well. And it's helping us move along a little bit faster. And I'm excited now as we look ahead to a potential off-season soon and trying to pursue the rest of this series with some momentum, with some energy. And a little refresh for the series is probably overdue after, 13 years of making similar videos that haven't changed a whole lot over the course of time. I appreciate all the feedback that was left on the last video. It was incredibly supportive. I'd love to know what you thought of today's as well, especially as I look to get going on the last games here this season. It's just fun to play through games and think about the best way to show them to you now instead of knowing that every video is going to be structured the same. I think that it's going to open the doors for this series and future down the road. But thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to subscribe. I already said that. Leave a like if you feel like it, and I'll see y'all next time. Have a great day.